Hey, so in my experiment before, you saw how our senses sometimes work together. What we see might affect what we taste. We're going to find out more about how our senses are connected. Let's go. Everyone knows we have 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. We use our senses every day. They help us to understand the world around us. Professor Charles Spence knows a lot about the senses. He works at Oxford University. He's a psychologist, a scientist who studies the mind. He's a specialist in the senses.
I'm an experimental psychologist working here at Oxford University, and I'm interested in the senses, in hearing and vision and touch, taste, pain, and how those senses get put together in people's heads.
We hear sounds and we see color. But what would it be like to hear color? Did you know that some people actually do see sound or hear color? This is called synesthesia. Their brains connect colors with sounds or shapes, or even with different flavors. Scientists have known about synesthesia for more than 200 years, but they haven't understood it very well until recently. That's because now, scientists have machines that help us see how our senses stimulate our brain. In the past, they thought synesthesia was very rare. Now they know that about 4% of people have the condition. Even people who don't have synesthesia often make connections between the senses. Psychologists call this multisensory perception, and experts like Professor Spence are studying it and learning more about it.
We try and understand the rules that connect your eye to your ear to your nose to your mouth.
The sensory cortex is the part of the brain that deals with the senses. Each sense has its own separate area. For people with synesthesia, there is a connection between 2 different areas. This allows some people to hear color or see sound.
We have 5 senses, or perhaps more: hearing, vision, touch, taste, and smell. And most of the time when we experience the world or products around us, they stimulate most, if not all, of the senses.
Dr. Spence believes that we often use our senses together, eating in a restaurant or choosing things in the supermarket.
So take a lovely meal, and it's got to taste right, it should have the right aroma or smell, it needs to look visually appealing, the crunch, the sound should be right, as should the texture, the mouthfeel, or the fattiness in the mouth. So all the senses are involved in the perception of food. And that maybe is the most multisensory of our experiences.
Professor Spence is working hard to understand how the senses work together. His work is useful for the food business.
If I think about some sort of packaging or something, say this bottle here, it's got a certain weight, it's got a feel of roughness, so that's kind of, it's also got a sound I can hear, a colour, and it'll have a smell. So all the senses are again being involved in my perception of this product and its packaging. And a lot of the work that we do with companies now is trying to help them enhance the multi-sensory appeal of what they're offering.
Today they are testing how different music can affect the taste of coffee. We understand the world through our senses. Everything we experience through our sense of touch, taste, smell, sight, or hearing. Therefore, a better understanding of how the senses work and how they work together will lead to a better understanding of the world we live in.